Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And I'm sure everyone appreciates it as well because, yeah, it's such a great topic. I'm dying to just dive in. So, you know what? Let's just get started. Not everyone is here yet. I'm sure they'll either join as we start or they'll catch the recording later.
All right.
I think everyone knows me here, but I'll introduce myself anyway. I'm Paloma Harrington Griffin from the HSA. See, I've got more people coming in. Heidi. A quick reminder, if you want to ask any questions, use the Q&A box down here. If you want to say hello, use the chat box. Yeah, and thank you so much for being here, everyone. Thank you for making the time to join us for this webinar. And well done on taking the initiative to learn more about home staging and how to improve your business. You are already one step ahead of the competition. Well done. So today's guest is someone that I really look up to. She's a fantastic stager, a great photographer as well. And she has now taken home staging training to a whole new level. So after years of running a six-figure home staging business in San Francisco, Cindy came across a situation that we here at the HSA are very familiar with as well. She found that even though home staging is popular and most home sellers and agents know the concept of home staging, many still don't really understand how it works and how to leverage this amazing sales tool, as I like to call it, properly. They just don't really know how to do it. So Cindy changed her business model to a school of home staging that provides practical courses for homeowners and home stagers. So I will let her tell you a little bit more about that, and most importantly, how to market less and get more staging clients. Cindy, welcome.
Wow, thank you so much for having me. This is really, really nice. I'm sorry my flight was changed. So originally I wasn't going to be in UK till tomorrow. So I apologize if I stutter or it was a little bit like confusing. Definitely put that in the chat box if you don't understand something that I said. I am a fast talker when it comes to presentations. So if there's anything, any questions, feel free to pop into the chat box and we'll answer your questions at the end of it. So I'm going to kick off the webinar now. And so before we start, just turn on your phone, close any distractions. And I'm actually going to leave on the video so you're not finding a distraction of my face. All right, so let's get started. So if you want, grab a pen and notebook and start taking notes. And then definitely let me know if there's some technical difficulty, like you can't see the slides or anything. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Cindy Lin, and you might know me because I have a podcast on iTunes called The Home Staging Show. I also write our blog on business and also home staging hacks very regularly. And I was a home stager for 10 plus years before I transitioned stage more to an international school home staging in 2017. So now my focus is really to provide quality and modern and practical courses and free resources on home staging and business of home staging. And like Paloma said earlier, personally, I also work as a photographer and I've been exhibited and published internationally. So I started staging in 2006. And at the time, market was really hot, so everyone was making money. But when I first started, I really had no connection when it comes to selling real estate. It was really difficult to find staging project for me. I had really no idea where to begin. I was very lucky to start booking jobs, but to keep a consistent clientele, that was challenging for me. And then a couple years later, I tried to market myself as much as possible, but it was really frustrating because you know, like when you go through these training programs, they tell you, okay, go to open houses or do X, Y, and Z. And it just didn't seem like it was working for me. So I wasn't sure exactly what was happening. So there's a couple of challenges I had that when I started my business, I was very young. I had no network to leverage really. I didn't really know anyone who was selling their house. Like my friends were delivering pizza. And I tried everything the schools were teaching, but nothing seemed to stick. So I was not really working with my ideal clients. It was really frustrating to work with these one-off clients who may not understand the value of home staging. So that was really frustrating. And then so I was spending also a lot of money on marketing, but I was not getting a lot of consistent clients. So the thing is, when you don't have consistent client, it becomes very difficult because you always have to be prospecting. So it can be very distracting, because I think most of us got into home staging because we love the creative side of things, and we don't want to like run the business all the time and being bogged down on admin or scheduling email newsletter or like writing a flyer, etc. Like we want to be staging. So I really putting a lot of money and effort into it, and I was not getting a lot of new clients, or the clients I really want to work with. And what's really frustrating for me is the agents that were working with me, they didn't really understand the value I bring to the table. They only wanted me to do staging as cheap as possible. And so I really felt really exhausted and lost. And I was also very scared because I wasn't sure when the next job was going to come from. So in 2008, there was a pivot point in my business life because I was lucky enough, I won a business competition that they gave me a grant, basically to give me 1 year business coaching for free. And when I started working with my business coach, Alicia, she really specialized in, like she had a background in real estate and also HR and hiring. And so it was like a perfect fit for me. And she really was really specialized in marketing. So she really honed in on what exactly marketing meant for me. And most importantly, so she also helped me shift in my mindset. And she really helped me to find that clarity in my business, like understanding why and what kind of people I want to work with. And that really became, I really became more laser focused on my marketing effort because of it. I'm going to talk about later on, like what are some of the common reasons why home staging fail at marketing. And those mistakes I made as well. And that's why I wasn't getting enough clients I want. And so once I realized what I was doing wrong and started testing, I changed my marketing strategies. And because of that, because having the clarity of who my target client is, my business really shifted. I was booking more clients and it finally felt really easy. So I was really no longer chasing leads mindlessly like a hamster spinning on the wheel. It was very frustrating. Like you go to networking events, you bring a stack of business cards, you're just handing all this stuff out, and you're hoping someone's going to call you for a job later on. But that's a really actually very superficial way of marketing, because you're not really making a deep impression in people's mind. And so it's really important when you're thinking about your marketing, it should be a plan. Like you want to design a marketing system so that you can rinse and repeat it over and over and over again, and you can tweak it by testing and experimenting with different strategies, and then figure out what would get you the most return on investment. And so that you can really save on your time and effort and on resources. And by doing that, by having a plan that is, like you have a rinse and repeat, and it's repeated. So you're deepening the impression, you're gaining the trust of this cold lead, turning to warm lead, turning to a hot lead. Your customers is more likely to work with you and want to work with you because you put in the work to continue to layer in the different marketing tactics to really make them feel like you care about them, you understand them, you understand what their pain point is in their life. So you wish you could just get calls all day long from people who you want to work with, and you want to not marketing so hard and feel so used car salesperson about it. One of the things that I hear most often is that people feel uncomfortable about sales, but it's a very crucial part of our business, because without marketing and sales, you are not going to get revenue. So you're not going to be able to run your business because you have nothing to, you have no cash, you have no capital to really generate income from. And so that could be very frustrating. So one of the things is that once you have the marketing system set up, you can start kind of, in a way, predicting your revenue. Because one of the things I found out the hard way is that, like, if I'm not busy at all right now, that means 2 months ago, I dropped the ball on marketing. Because marketing is a bit like planting the seeds. So in the States, we have this term called farming. So a lot of real estate agents would do farming, which is sending out postcard campaigns. So these postcard campaigns probably will take about 12 to 24 months for them to really see a significant return on investment. It's because they're deepening the marketing impression. And postcard, it's a postcard. It's very easy. Like people look at it and then they throw it away. But if they look at it consistently enough, they remember you when it's time to sell the home in that neighborhood. So what you're going to learn today is first, like why many home stagers marketing fails and how you can one up your competition. And two, what are some of the quickest way to establish yourself, establish your credibility as a home stager, even if you're new to the local real estate market or have zero network. And three, how to get your home staging company found on page 1 of Google. And number 4, the one seemingly very old-fashioned tool that's still going to get you more home staging project leads than anything else. So first thing first, what exactly is marketing? So marketing is really a method of delivering a branded message to your potential customers with the right targeting. So there's several components of this. First of all, like for example, people follow up with email, right? Or you send email newsletter. That is a branded message. It has your company name on it. It has your name at the end of it. So it's a branded message that reflects who you are as a company and what exactly you do. And it's sent to your customers with a very specific a specific message, whether you're educating them about something like why they do work and curb appeal or whatever it is. But you need to have the right targeting. So a lot of times marketing is like driving. Like you get in the car, you know you need to get to, like for example, Tesco in Wembley. So you punch in the address in your GPS and then you drive toward that, right? You're not gonna just drive mindlessly hoping you'll hit the right freeway and then get on the right, street, etc., etc. You're gonna figure a way how to get there without spending any unnecessary time than you have to. So it's the same thing with marketing. It's about honing in the message. Basically, it's like that movie Inception. Like you're inceptioning your target customers. You're planting that seed, the right seed in their mind. And so that next time when they need a home stager, they think about you. So what kind of language, like spoken, written, or visual, grabs your customers' attention and make them want to book you for staging jobs? So one of the good example of this in terms of language, written language, and also like verbal, is that when I first started staging, I used to use the word affordable in my marketing all the time, in my tagline. Like I tell people that, I want to make my home staging service, affordable, for our clients. But what I found is that a lot of clients that come, like new clients, they always bargain with me. And it was like a very unpleasant thing to really deal with because, I feel like I price my home staging service already very fair. And for someone to come and be like, hey, can you do like $200 less? It's in a way insulting. And also it makes it difficult to really deliver the product that they want, that they see in my portfolio. So when I figured that out, I took out the word affordable, and then most of my new clients did not bargain with me. And the other thing is that it's really about positioning. If you speak the same language as your potential customers, it's much more likely you're going to attract them. It's important for you to do your own homework to figure out who your ideal customer is. And this is why most home stagers, including myself, when I first started, we fail at marketing is because we try to speak to everyone and stage every type of house. There's no targeting at all. I understand the idea is that you want to make as much money as possible, so you take on every single kind of job you can. But the problem with that is that a lot of times if you don't hone in on your marketing, you don't speak to a specific type of people or specific demographic or specific neighborhood, a generalist is really hard to make as much money as somebody who specializes in something. In marketing, there's this thing called Rule 7. It's basically a marketing principle that states that your prospect needs to come across your offer at least 7 times before they really notice it and start to take action. And this is why there's so many adverts on the television, like with the same jingle, the same ad, going over and over and over again, to really deepening your impression for that particular brand. And this is why, because they've done studies, it takes at least 7 times for a customer to remember your brand. And this is why if you meet a new prospective client, say the home seller or estate agent, just by sending them an email to follow up, that is not enough. Like you need to do 6 more things to really deepening their impression of you. And so by learning how to set up your marketing system properly, you can really shorten that time frame. You're rinsing and repeating, right? So you're going to make yourself more coveted to work with as well. I'm not sure how it is here in the UK market, but in the States, especially in the bigger market, to work with a certain home stager is actually becoming a thing where people like show off to their friends. Because in our markets, a lot of times, especially like San Francisco or New York, these bigger markets, they're really already familiar with home staging. And also we have television shows that really help to deepen the impression of home staging to the consumers. So people know that they want to hire a good stager. And ultimately, this is because people love free stuff. Like I always get asked, like, what free stuff should I do? I mean, whenever I teach about marketing, people always be like, I don't understand, like, how can I follow up with something with value when I don't really have anything? That's not true. You actually have a lot. Like, for example, you're doing a free workshop or presentation, you can invite realtors or homeowners to attend. So in the States, we have a lot of apartment complexes. So usually they have some sort of association and you can pitch and say, hey, I would love to talk to your homeowners about how to boost their the marketing, the appraised value. I don't know if you say the same thing, but it's basically how to increase your home, the value of your home if you're interested in selling or just want to increase it in general. And when you put it in a mindset like that, people are more likely to say yes. They're like, yes, I want to know how to increase the value of my home. Everyone wants to do that. So when you frame it like that, it's much easier for people to say yes. And the other thing too is, it's like whenever you write a blog post, so every time you stage a home where you've done a styling job or decorating job for a client, you can write a case study about it, as long as the client's okay about it. And then you can show before and after photos. You can talk about some of the challenges for this particular home. So maybe they have a really strange floor plan, and here's XYZ that you did to solve this issue. So even though that you're in a way teaching them how to do it, but at the same time, it's like people might read it and be like, oh my God, I never thought about that. Like, she's total genius. Like, so now you just become kind of like this hero in their mind. And this is why education is really important, because it not only boosts the awareness of the consumer about home staging in general, about your company profile, it also deepens that level of trust and credibility. So these are really great opportunities for you to use to follow up or create a conversation about what you do without feeling that you're doing a hard sell to them. So tell us in the chat, is this making sense so far? I know I talk very fast and there's a lot of content.
I think the speed is just fine, Cindy. I'm happy.
Cool. Paloma, are you seeing anything in the chat box? How are people feeling?
No, people are not saying anything so far. Come on, you guys, speak up.
All right. So then we're gonna move on. You can always, put your questions in the chat box and let us know later. It's,
I think they're just really busy taking notes.
All right, awesome. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so number 3, what should we do when we want to do less marketing? And the really answer for that is make it easier for clients to find you. Just think about it. When was the last time you hired someone? Say like your pipe burst, and you want to hire a plumber. How did you find that? So people ask around on social media a lot of times, especially on Facebook, to see if any friends and family know someone. So what I really think about online marketing is that it's a really great supplement for your existing market strategy. Because say that you have a Facebook page, you invited your client as a fan. And so every time you update a page, they are more likely going to see it and interact with you. And so you can set one up, it's free. Same thing with your Instagram business profile. So you can also use that to showcase your portfolio as well. And Facebook now has like all these like extra functions where people can book like a estimate call like right on Facebook and stuff like that. That could be another great way to leverage, especially if you have clients who may be very tech savvy. They will definitely appreciate that. And the other thing too, now people are craving for video content. So live streams, behind the scene videos are super hot. So remember, nothing I've shared with you today is any theory or ideas. These are all very tried and true concepts at work. And the best part is even really small tweaks can really create big results for your home staging business. If all else fails, just be really consistent. Target and then be very consistent in your marketing. And so I basically put all these things that I know about running a six-figure home staging business into a course called Six-Figure Floor Plan. And it's a mastermind program we do twice a year. So each time we do it, it's an 8-week intensive in February and in October. And throughout the year, you get group assets as well. So you can get support throughout the year. And my school is really a bit different than the traditional home staging school, because I really focus. I don't want you to sit in like a stuffy windowless hotel room and then go through that for your certification. For me, it's all about online training where it's flexible and you can like be in your pajamas and learn. And you can retake the class over and over again. And with with in-person training, that is very, very difficult because it takes time and resources to have hotel rooms and stuff like that. And online, we can meet at any time. And we really focus on building and refining your key system. So Six-Figure Floor Plan is really about setting the foundation for your system, and so that you can refine that over and over and over again. And so you can free up time to do what you truly love, which is the creative side of the business. And our course format really have this built-in support system and also accountability so that you can get your questions answered as you grow and expand. So I'm here to help you to find and build better and consistent clientele. And by the end of the program, you're really gonna walk away with all your key systems set up for your home staging business. Because we talk about marketing, for example, for module 1 through 3, and then 4, we talk about operation side of things. A lot of times with dealing with inventory, we also talk about legal side of things. I mean, they are North America focused, but you can still get quite a bit of similar ideas in terms of how you want to structure your business or some of the language in your contract that you want to tighten up. And then we talk about finance, which is really important. Obviously, you need to learn how to build your profitability and your bottom line into your business. And then we talk about growth. So it's really all about creating the workflow, scripts and templates so that you can really save your time and then build your key systems. The key point is I really want you to feel confident and ready with your home staging business and really achieve your home staging business goals. So in the program, we have 7 modules of video lessons and 166 plus pages of worksheets. So with the group coaching calls, we do 2 intensive sessions. So it's 6 each, 6 in February and 6 in October. You also have access to our private group throughout the entire year. And you have lifetime access. I don't like renewal fees. I think they don't make sense. So I always want to do lifetime access for our courses. We also have a huge answer vault at this point. It's basically all the Q&As from our students. We also have master classes with guest mentor. And then moving forward in October, we also have a private alumni club. So you're going to get more coaching calls as well. Like for beginning of 2020, we're going to do a marketing bootcamp business. And in module 2 is like we're deepening that foundation work. So it's all about working on your ideal clients. Like what do they look like? Is it a guy or a woman? How old they are? Like what kind of things they're really triggering them to buy? Like what are their biggest fear when they are putting their homes on the market? And we also talk about lead generations as well, and also expanding your sphere of influence, which is very important in real estate. A lot of times it's not really about how good I know it's terrible to say this, but a lot of times it's about how well you're connected with your networks and also how well you are marketing yourself. and sometimes the quality of the work may not be as important. The key thing what I'm trying to get at is to get your foot into the door, because real estate is kind of like a chain reaction. When you have a client, you know, especially like in the States, I think the estate agent is more key. It's because they are really motivated because they take commission. But the thing is, like, in a lifetime of a home seller, chances are they're going to sell the house maybe once or twice. They're only really going to their lifetime value for you is only that one or two house for your staging. But a estate agent, one that trusts you, one that loves you and wants to book you all the time, their lifetime value is going to be much, much, much higher. So it's really about finding the right lead and how to generate that lead. And so it's really kind of expanding. How can you expand your marketing sphere influence? If you have any questions, and thank you so much for attending. I know I threw a lot of information at you. So maybe you have some questions about your marketing that I can help you answer today.
Everyone's so quiet today. I wonder if they're even there, if they just went to make dinner or something.
It's probably a long day for work. Yeah. Because people are getting back from holiday mode.
Yeah, it's been a tough month, I think, just having to let go of being on holidays and get back to work, get back to real life. I do have a question though. I was just wondering, what was it like for you, Cindy, when you were trying to get your first clients, when you actually decided, okay, so this is my ideal client, I'm going to go and get them. Did you take a lot of time to decide who was the ideal client, to just like draw the profile and then start chasing them? What was the process like for you once you were hit with the idea that, okay, I need to find the right profile, the right client, I need to understand who they are so I can actually find them?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was so new in the beginning. I did everything. I mean, it's just like kind of what they say about dating. You want to date every type of guy and figure out what you don't like and what you like. And I basically did that. So in staging, we have consultations, you know, you just walk and talk, give people a report. And then there's occupied staging where people are living in the home or you have to use their stuff to stage. And then I specialized in vacant staging very early on. Like I got into home staging, I wanted to like, oh, if I'm just going to give consultation and I can make a living out of that, that'll be great. Or like do occupieds where I don't have to buy any inventory. But all the projects I was getting was vacant home staging. And then actually when I tried doing the other two, I was just like, you know, vacant staging is my thing. I think for me, I have more control as a stager in terms of my own inventory and also the look and feel that I want for that.
No limitations, really.
Yeah, no limitation. It's much easier business process for me to do that. But nowadays, I think the market's been very different because I started my business in 2006. That's 13 years ago. And now I see it's more blended business model that people are taking. I think that ultimately that you need to figure out what exactly is your sweet spot. So what happened was I figured out that we were doing a specific type of neighborhood in San Francisco Bay Area. And those type of neighborhood homes are all very similar floor plan because it's basically one builder, they built these tract homes. So basically every house in that neighborhood has a very similar floor plan, if not identical. And you know, so my specialization was vacant homes, 1,800 square feet and under. I don't know what's that in square meter, but and then, you know, we can do those type of jobs basically within 5 hours in and out. This is including loading up the warehouse, driving over. Bay Area traffic is about half an hour, 45 minutes each way, and take photos including taking photos for the property. So we had it down to a system. So this is why I really push for stagers to have a specialization, because for me, I specialize in certain type of homes and I know exactly what neighborhoods have them. And so it was easy for me to target. And also it was much cheaper for me to operate my business because that if I focus on doing one type of home, I don't have to stock inventory for every other types of home out there. So say I do smaller starter homes, so those floor plan are usually smaller, so the furniture is a
Mm-hmm.
bit smaller, right? So operation wise, I can take advantage of the square footage I have in my business.
Yeah.
The other thing is that if I choose to do large homes in addition to small homes, now I have mixed inventory. That means
Mm-hmm.
I need to change my shelving to accommodate the larger pieces of furniture. I need to spend more money to get bigger pieces of inventory. Then
Mm-hmm.
I need to expand my warehouse to store the larger pieces of inventory.
Oh gosh, in England especially, storage being so expensive as it is. So
Yeah. But I
yeah.
think in England, most homes are fairly small on the smaller side. It's not like America where it's like they can be an apartment complex or they can be in like their own single family dwelling where it's like 5,000 square
Yeah,
feet or
most
something.
of the times it's quite different. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is you can also, I mean, within that you can specialize in price points, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can specialize, like I love starter homes. I don't know why. I think also maybe because I grew up in Asia, like the space is smaller and I love that kind of feel. And also I in San Francisco we had a lot of old Victorians and old Edwardians that were
Mm-hmm.
remodeled in with, they obviously modernized on the inside, but they kept, the details like the picture rail, the wainscot,
Yeah.
the stained glass,
Yeah, all those features.
or the
Yeah.
molding, these really lovely, just like beautiful architecture details. Like I love mixing the new with the old. So like even though I have contemporary furniture, I might bring in a few like antique vintage pieces, and that worked really well for my particular style.